So one of the things I've been trying to do with this is not spend any money and not go anywhere and get anything. I shouldn't say hate. I dislike having to disrupt my day to go someplace to buy something when I can probably find stuff sitting around the house that I can use. That might make me a little odd, but you know what? I've never argued the fact that I might be a little odd. So this door here is a pretty good example. I had it attached to that building right there where that empty spot is, and I had those two crookedy doors that you had to hang up by bolts so that I could put them on the end and I could close that building up when we leave here. I don't think I'm going to plan to use that anymore, and I think I could replace that with a plain old sheet of tin, which I might have around here somewhere, which means this door could come in really handy for making me a door to go over here in this shed. Now some people might be asking, why in the world are you doing this in the first place? Well, I didn't want to answer that because I didn't want to, you know, there's some things you just don't want people to know. So, but I'm just going to tell you why. If I can close this up, I can be in control of what's in here. I can organize it and I can have it be that way rather than have it being a catch-all for anything that's in someone's hand if they're looking for a place to set it. There's a good example. There's an old boat propeller back there. There's a life jacket for a dog, and there's a fold-up ironing board, and there's a rack for a bicycle on the back of a car. And here's a whole bunch of paint cans, and there's a crock pot, Instapot thing right there. And then here's an old heater, hickey-me-doo, and here's another heater, hickey-me-doo, and there's some odds and ends and pieces and parts of this and that. Now, if this was closed up and I organized this and closed it and locked it, it would stay organized the way I organized it. And then it wouldn't become cluttered up with the this and thatness of everyday life, which is kind of what happens out here. You know, we rake the yard, we cut the grass, we use some tools, we're doing something else, we toss them in here and we move on. Well, that after a while just turns into a pile of clutter. I've got piles of clutter sitting outside that I had to move in order to get in here because I wanted to put this rubber rug down underfoot. But the other reason I wanted to close this is because I may have on this property things that aren't good for children. I may have acid, battery acid, or muriatic acid, or different types of chemicals that I would not want a child to find. I might have other things around here that I would not want children to find. And if you're going to have dangerous stuff on your property, you really have a responsibility to keep it in such a way where children or people in general that didn't know better couldn't come along, get a hold of it, and hurt themselves with it. So for that reason, I'm building this little safe space here with a lock on it so that I can come in here and organize my dangerous stuff without putting anyone else in jeopardy. Now, if y'all need to know anything more than that, write off a letter to the president. You can either write to the current president or the former one or the one before him, because they all know me pretty well. I'm on a first name basis with all of them, and you just ask them what I'm up to, and they'll refer you to the Secret Service, who will refer you to the CIA, who will refer you to the state police, who will refer you to the Maine Bureau of Investigation, who will refer you to the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, who will probably call the local code enforcement officer, and he'll call the sheriff, and the sheriff will have a conversation with you that's probably just about as sensible as the one that I've had so far. And then you will understand everything you need to know about what I just said. And if you don't, and if all else fails, write your question down on a piece of paper in handwriting on a lined piece of paper like the old Blue Horse paper. Write it in black ink. Wrap it up around a $100 bill and mail it to Cutworm 59 out in Arkansas. Now, if y'all don't know Cutworm 59, you need to catch up on your YouTube-ness, because Cutworm 59 is awesome. And you send it out to Cutworm 59. Don't forget the $100 bill, because that's important. So you send that question wrapped in a $100 bill to Cutworm 59, and he'll explain to you what's going on. And if you don't understand what's going on after he explains it to you, then you can call up Waylon Wire, or Waylon Wire, or whatever you want to call him. Or call One Lonely Farmer. He can straighten you right out too. So you call any of my YouTube friends, they will explain to you in great detail what I'm up to here. But in the meantime, none of that is really important, because what is important is I want to make a door right here, one that I can open and close and lock. And that, my friends and neighbors, and those of you who may not consider you to be my friend or my neighbor, is all you need to know about that right there. So I'm gonna tote that in there, and we're gonna see how she fits. So I'll bring you in here, and I'll sit you up on top of this trusty Craftsman toolbox that a YouTuber by the name of Big Daddy, who I think is in Wisconsin, Michigan, Wisconsin. He's up near the Canadians, and he sent me this box. Bless his heart, because he's a fine fella. Anyway, y'all sit on that box and y'all watch, and I'm gonna bring that door in. I'm gonna place it there, and then you and I can marvel at the marvelousness of it. So just hold that thought. So that is going to do the trick. Now I'm going to want to anchor this point down here. I'm going to raise this up so that it won't be touching the rug, and then I'm going to swing it so that it opens this away. This away, this away, this away. Dixie like that. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And I'll do something over here, I don't know what yet. But as I explained to you before, if y'all were paying attention, y'all remember this. And I wouldn't have to explain it to you again, but I explained to you before that I don't always have a plan. When I start something, I only think out so far, because that's as much mental energy as I can expend on something, and I can't predict the future. So I just say, I'm going to do this. And then I look at it and I think, I know what I'm going to do now. So that's the point I'm at now. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to look at it, and I'm going to think, what can I do now? So I'm not going to attach these babies, because they need to be straight and located, and that needs to be fortified, and this needs to be adjusted upward toward the good Lord. And then I'll come back and I'll put bolts in that, and I'll put things in there, and I'll swing this door around like Tarzan and Jane swinging through the jungle, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do next. Or I could take something like this here. See what I mean about not thinking too far ahead? Because looky there, there's a shim. It just happens to be sitting there. I could take this shim and I could stick it down here under this. That shim would provide me with the proper spacage so that I could attach these hinges and see how they go. So it would be really nice if I had something to lean this against while I was acquiring what I need to do what I need to do next. So maybe this other piece of boardage would serve the purpose. Oh, it does. So what I need now is a plier type device to straighten these little thingamabobbies right here. I want them to be straightened. So I can take that. Oh, look at that. Oh, did you see that? Now that is a work of art. That is sculpture in progress right there. Handmade. Let me tell you, handmade, sculpturated hinges. Just like that. Just like that. And see what I can do now is I have to get through the other side of this, but I could go get me some screwsies. I don't think I have any screwsies in here, but I can go get me some screwsies, and once I get me some screwsies, I can screw that into place, and then we can at least swing it around a few times. Oh, just imagine the joy that will fill our hearts when we see that thing just a swinging. Woo! Okay, so I'm gonna go do that right now. Y'all just hold that thought. Don't go watching somebody else's channel and forget about me before I get back now, because this is very important. This next part is very important. You don't want it. All right. Okay, I got in my hand, I got some screwsies, some little screwsies, Wake up, a little Scroozies, wake up. I don't remember that song because ain't none of y'all old enough. But those of you that are old enough will know exactly what I just alluded to when I sang that little piece of songish. Scroozies over there. Oh, wouldn't it be nice if I had another little piece of boardage that I could slip under the other side of that? Oh, that would be just a freaking deal right there. Just put this one here. Freaking is not a cuss word, so don't y'all be calling my mom and dad and telling them you heard me cursing, because they raised me to be a good Baptist boy and not do this sort of thing. So, oh, that's gonna be good. Oh, that's gonna be good. Oh, that's gonna be good. Yeah. So you just stay put now. Let's be moving. I can prop you up. I'll prop you up. Yeah, prop you up. Put that right there. Oh, this could be finer if Eric Wilson did it himself. I'm just saying. Get my little screw thingy. My little other screwdriver thingy here. See? It would be nice if it had a magnet in it. It don't, but it'd be nice if it did. Make this so much better. But I just have to deal with having to just drop that screw. But that's when I brought more than one. Might be nice if I had something else to slip down under the bottom of this to make it stand in the proper upright position. Let's try this right here. Let's slip that up. Oh, come on, you can do it there. Let's go there. I might come back later and put some bigger screws in these. But this is a good place to start from. Yeah, another one. Yeah. Might have to take these gloves off. Might have to take these gloves off. Probably what I need to do, take the gloves off. Take the gloves off. That one off, I take this one off. And I'll have my naked fingers to maneuver this with. Oh, joy. Keep that up and I'll have your screws left. Just saying. Mercy sakes, good Lord, fire. I might need to go get me some better equipment and some better screws. I'm just going to set this back over here for a moment while I go contemplate my next move. So I went and got me a different size screw. I felt like the screws that I was using was not being cooperative enough to please me. When I'm not pleased, ain't nothing going on. So. That looks so much better. This might require some adjustment later on. But for right now, I think that's good. I might just call it a day. You know, sometimes if you can just accomplish a little bit, just a little bit, that's better than nothing at all. Yes, sir. Y'all have a nice day. Or don't, whichever turns you on the mostest. But I'm hoping you have a nice day. That's my deepest hope from deep down inside of you. Amen.